What's up, guys? Man, it's your man, Ed Hayes, the wholesale coach here, man, back for another video. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about why you need to dive into text message marketing today. Shout out to my guy, Justin Winthers. That's one of Max Maxwell's guys. He single-handedly coded REI Rail. Shout out to Justin for reaching out to me recently and allowing me to check out their REI Rail system. And it was a video that he sent me dealing with text messaging that inspired me to make this video. There's a lot of value in that. So I just wanted to bring some value to the channel, guys, and talk about text messaging mastery, why you need to dive into text messaging today, and some helpful tips and strategies on how to get the best results when you're out here rocking and rolling with a text message campaign. So I hope that y'all are pumped for this content, man. As always, go ahead and just gently smack that like button for me. Now,
push the button. Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
You heard what she said.
And man, make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. Over 70% of you all are not subscribed, but let's go ahead, let's get into the content. All right, guys, so let's not waste any time. I've got some notes written down right here, so let's just go ahead, let's get right on into it. So the first reason why I recommend that you all get into text message marketing is because of the response rate. When you're sending out text messages, you're gonna be getting a lot of people replying back to you. Versus when you're making phone calls, it may take you 4 hours to call 200 people if you're doing it manually. Whereas with text messaging, you can reach those same 200 people, but it's only gonna take you a very short period of time and you're gonna get responses. Obviously, a lot of those responses are gonna be no, stop, wrong phone number, and things of that nature, but you're having conversations out here. A lot of those people will be interested in selling, and it's just about getting them on a phone call so you can convert them into an actual lead. So very often with text messaging, you can get a 20-30% response rate on those text messages that you're sending out. So if you're texting 200 people, expect like 40 people to be reaching back out to you just from that small text message blast. With different forms of marketing, the response rate is simply not as high. When you send some direct mail, a very small percentage of those people are gonna contact you back. But when you send out a text message, most people are gonna check their phones. We all have our cell phones on us at all times of the day. So expect it to get a really high response rate when you're using text message marketing. The next benefit of text message marketing is gonna be the cost. To send out a text message, usually it's not gonna cost you no more than like 8 cents per lead, and that's really on the super high end of the scale. A lot of these companies charge about 4 cents per text message for your text message marketing. Text message marketing is one of the cheapest forms of marketing available to wholesalers. When you're using platforms like Twilio, you can even pay less than a penny per text message. And because of that, you can reach out to substantially more people than your competition that are using, cold calling, bandit signs, ringless voicemail drops, and things of that nature. The volume is the key, guys. Volume is key. So the next reason why you want to check out text message marketing is going to be because of the time associated with text message marketing. With text messaging, instead of taking hours to reach hundreds of people, it's literally taking you minutes. So from the moment that you send that campaign, you're starting to get responses. People are calling you back. People are texting you back. You're having conversations. It takes substantially less time to have dozens of conversations via text than it does, with bandit signs or mailers or calling or pretty much any other marketing strategy. Texting is direct to the seller. It's direct to the consumer. You're actually engaged in a conversation with this individual upon you reaching out to them. So like you're having a conversation, you're responding right back, you're talking about it, you're trying to get this person on a phone call, and it takes substantially less time with text messaging than it does with almost any other form of marketing out there. And lastly, as far as the reasons why you need to start diving into text message marketing, is because you're not gonna get cursed out. At least you're not gonna get cursed out over the phone. Now, I work with a lot of newbie agents and wholesalers, investors, and a big thing for a lot of people who don't want to make phone calls is, oh man, I'm gonna get cursed out. Oh, I don't want to get cursed out on the phone call. Well, texting allows you to kind of ease your way into starting to make those phone calls. You start to get more comfortable having those conversations via text, and then when you actually get on a phone call, those people are already warm leads. So you aren't having many conversations over the phone trying to sell yourself to the person who's on the other end of the line. More often than not, when you're text messaging, that person asked you to reach out to them. So you tend to have much more cordial conversations than what you would be having if you were just cold calling people and asking them if they want to sell. So texting can definitely save you from a lot of turmoil. You'll definitely still be getting cursed out, don't get me wrong, but it'll just be via text. You won't have to have someone yelling in your ear, oh, you're the 5th person that called me today, and like going in on you and making you feel like a bad person as you're making those calls. So text messaging allows you to kind of ease your way into having these conversations with motivated sellers. All right, guys, so now I've got some pro tips for you all to be able to get out here when you're text messaging and get the best results right away. Now, the first tip that I have for you is to respond back immediately. When you're text messaging, as I said earlier, the person on the other end of the phone believes that they're currently engaged in a conversation with you right now. So it's super important that when you get that text message coming back in, that you really want to be able to respond back to that text message in no more than the first 10 minutes. That's a natural situation. If someone texts you, you expect for them to text you back right away because it's a text message. It's not like a piece of mail or something like that and they're expecting for you to reach back out to them in like 2 weeks. They expect for you to be texting them back immediately. So worst case scenario really should be about the first 10 minutes, but like no more than an hour. And honestly, by that time, most of those leads who did say yes or sure what's your offer, most of them are already gone. They've probably already called your competition or they're not gonna take you seriously out here anymore. So make sure that you're responding back to people right away so you're not getting these leads coming in via text and literally just letting them go down the drain. Now, the next strategy to get the best results with text messaging is gonna be to make sure that you get these people on a phone call right away. That's the purpose of the text message, is to engage this person in a conversation so then you can actually get on a phone call with them to talk about the details of the property. Now, there may be some people out there who can convert leads via text and via email, but the extreme vast majority of deals are closed either in person or on an actual phone call. So do yourself a favor, and as you're having these text message conversations, try to convert these people over to a phone call sooner than later. You gotta catch them while it's hot, guys. Capture that energy while they're excited to sell. Get them on a phone call, talk about the details, and try to turn that conversation into a contract. Now, the next thing that you want to do to make sure that you're getting the best results from your text messaging campaign is to build rapport with the person on the phone immediately. Now, with REI Rail's deep skip tracing system, it allows you to have additional information about this person, such as education, work history, things of that nature. So you can really kind of deep dive and bring up these things naturally in conversation. Like, oh man, my cousin used to go to so-and-so school and da-da-da. You can just bring these things up naturally in conversation and put yourself yourself into a position where you're building substantial rapport with the person on the other line. One of those things that I like to do is that if someone mentions something about their children, their wife, their dog or something like that, I'll write down that information and be taking very detailed notes as I'm talking to that individual. And then when I call him back, I'll be like, hey Bob, man, how's Margaret doing? Who else is building that type of rapport when they're on the phone call with someone? Most of us are just out here thinking about these people on a phone call as dollar signs. It's like, man, that's not Miss Johnson. That's a $10,000 bag right there. I need y'all to be focused out here. Stay focused. Think about these people as people and genuinely try to provide as much value to them as possible. Make sure that you're actually trying to serve individuals, and the best way to kind of break down those barriers right at the beginning of the phone call is to make sure that you're building up rapport. Ask them questions. Actively listen as they talk to you on that phone call, and make sure that you're taking very detailed notes. Now, the next strategy to make sure that you get the best results out here when you're doing text and message marketing is to make sure that you're switching it up sometimes. Don't come with the same exact message for everyone. Don't come with the same phone number, and make sure that you're checking your spam rates as you go along. So with advanced text messaging and RVM systems such as REI Rail, you have the ability to select multiple different templates of one message that you're going to send out to someone. So instead of just sending one initial text message to all 1,000 people on your list, with systems like REI Rail, you're able to actually select the individual phone number that you want to use, as well as select the individual message that you want to send out to this individual. So what they recommend is to have about 5 to 10 or maybe even 15 different message templates that you're going to send out to people. And it's just a slight variation of the same message. And then instead of sending 1,000 people the same exact message, you want to send like the first 100 people this particular message. Then you send the second 100 people this different template, and then the third 100 people this template. And they do that specifically so you're not getting bottled up by these phone companies, and you're not getting marked as spam by a ton of people and things of that nature, but your text messages are going through. And in my next video, I'm gonna deep dive some of these templates that you all can use to send out that initial message that should get you a substantially higher response rate from people. So like I said, guys, on REI Rail, you're able to switch up that message that you're using. You can switch up the phone number that you're using by having number pools, but you really just wanna get creative. Whether you're using REI Rail or REI Reply, what you really wanna do is make sure that you're sometimes switching up that initial message. Don't use the same message to text message every single person on your entire list. Switch it up sometimes. Switch up that phone number that you're using. And make sure that you're actually checking your spam rate. So you want to know how many people are marking my message as spam. You can even do split tests. Like, okay, I sent out this message to 100 people and 9 of those people marked this as spam. Whereas I sent out this message to 100 people and only 3 people marked this as spam. I think this is my preferred message. You see what I'm saying, guys? So make sure that you all do some testing. You have to think like a marketer, as Justin Winthers said. So make sure that you all are thinking like a marketer. Do some split testing. Don't think that you have to just stick with this same exact message forever. Switch it up sometimes. Maybe this week use this message, next week use this message, things like that. Switch up the phone numbers. You don't want to burn out your phone numbers. And if you're noticing that you have a very low deliverability rate, then you want to make sure that you're switching up that message, switching up that phone number, checking those spam rates so you can get the best results out here. I mean, in all reality, if your text messages aren't actually landing inside of your customer's inbox, what are we really doing out here? All right, guys, so my last tip in this video is gonna be to make sure that you're following up with people. You wanna set reminders for yourself to follow up with people, especially if they ask you to contact them at a later date. So if you have some people that's like, yeah, I'm not ready right now, reach back out to me in like 3 months, then you want to set a follow-up reminder to remind you to follow up with that person in 3 months. Put it onto your Google Calendar. Use the CRM system that you're using to, send out your text messages and ringless voicemail drops to set a reminder for you. Whatever it is, just make sure that you're following up with people. We all know all of the money is in the follow-up, so don't neglect the follow-up. Don't look up and you haven't reached out to Miss Johnson and you told her that you were gonna reach out in 2 weeks. Don't forget to reach out to people, and the best way to make sure that you're not forgetting is by actually putting these things onto your calendar. You wanna set notifications. You wanna get an email reminder and a notification at the top of the phone that reminds you to get this stuff taken care of. Don't expect for you to just do things without reminding yourself. All of the money is in the follow-up. So make sure that you're following up with people. Set alerts to remind you to actually follow up with these individuals, especially if they ask you to reach out to them at a later time. Hey man, look, that's about it, guys. I hope that this video provides some value for you. So I gave y'all 4 reasons why you want to get started with text message marketing right away, and then 5 strategies to make sure that you're getting the best results from the jump. So guys, if y'all like videos like this, if y'all found this helpful, make sure that y'all hit that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. Become a part of this team out here. I'm always dropping gems like this. I try to give my best stuff for absolutely free, guys. So make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. Come back and get some more of this wholesaling game out here as always. Do me a favor, guys. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you want me to make of my next wholesaling video about. I'm thinking about diving into Max Maxwell and Justin's dial system. And it's a specific way of sending out text messages, like the format of your text messages, so you get the best results out here. Let me know if y'all want me to make a video about that or any other topics down in the comment box down below, guys. As always, man, I hope that y'all staying healthy, staying blessed out here, man. And until next time, we are. Oops.